Good morning, students. Today we will study derivation of equation of uniform accelerated motion by using calculus method. In ninth class, you have derived the same equation of motion by graphical method. Here we will derive it using this calculus method, that is integration method. So first of all, we are taking velocity time relation. As you know, what is this velocity time relation? That is velocity v is equal to u plus at. We have to derive this relation. So how to proceed? What should be the step we should follow? As there is a concept of acceleration used in this equation, so directly we are using that acceleration is first derivative of velocity. So now from this equation we can write dv is equal to a dt. So now here after this we will integrate equation 1 within the limits. Now if we have to integrate, we require limits. So what are those limits? If we are taking at initial time, that is a starting time t1 is 0 and initial velocity is u, and after time t, that is final time t2 will be t, and final velocity attained by the body, that is v. So here limit of integration for time is 0 to t and for velocity is u to v. Now integrate equation 1, this is equation 1, within the limits. That is, if we have to integrate, now see here integration is with respect to pv, that means with respect to velocity. So now on this side, on left side, you will substitute the limits of integration of velocity, that is u v. Similarly here the different integration is done with respect to time. So initial time is 0 and final time is t. Now as we have learned the concept of integration with proper limit substitution, now here it can be 1. This can be taken as v0 dv. Within the limits you have to integrate. A is the acceleration, that is constant taking outside, 0 to t and dt. This can be taken as 1, that is 1 can be represented as t raised to the power 0. Now integrate v raised to the power 0 with respect to v, it will be v1 divided by 1. Here also we are integrating 1 with respect to t, you are getting t. Why? Because here n is 0. So 0 plus 1, 1t raised to the power 1 within the limits 0 to t. Now substitute upper limit, that is v raised to the power 1 as such, v minus lower limit. This is as per rule. Lower limit is always written with the negative sign. Then a into t minus 0. Yes, now we have got the result. V is equal to u plus at. If you understand the basic concept of integration, then this concept which we have applied in deriving this result is quite simple. Step by step you can reach to the final conclusion. Now after this, next equation of motion is distance time relation. Distance time relation, that means distance is s, we have to find s equal to ut plus half at square as relation between distance and time. So that's why it is distance time relation. So how to proceed for it? Again here we have to remember very first step, that is now here what we have to do, velocity is dx upon dt. So dx will be equal to v dt, as velocity is first derivative of position. So here mathematically by cross multiplying you are getting dx equal to v dt. So again what you have to do, integrate equation 1 within the limits. Here you can see when you have to integrate on both the sides, then one limit is for distance and one limit is for time. So now here left hand side is integrating with respect to position x, and right hand side has to be integrated with respect to time. So what will be the initial and final limits? Initial time limit is 0. Corresponding to it, that initial position is represented by x naught, that is initial displacement. Whereas after time t, that is final time, its position is x, that is final displacement. Final position or displacement you can take. Now substitute the limits, as here it is from x naught to x, and for time it is 0 to t. Now before starting integration, what we have to do on the right hand side, as we know that v is equal to u plus at. So we will substitute the value from the previous equation. Then after this I can integrate equation. As we know, integration of 1 with respect to x is x. So now integration is x within the limits. Again, we can integrate in a single step, or if you are getting confused, then you can do it in a separate step also. Here u is a constant here, initial speed. So integration of 1 with respect to time within the limits, plus second term as a acceleration, that is constant. So integration of t with respect to t. So on the right hand side, this will be u into t within the limit 0 to t plus half a t square. Why? Because t integrate, we are when we are doing integration for t, this will be t raised to the power 1 plus 1 divide by 1 plus 1, that is 2. And now limits of integration are from 0 to t. So now after this step, what we will do? Yes, in the next step we will substitute the limits. So it should be upper limit minus lower limit. This is u t, lower limit 0, plus half a, instead of t, as the t is there, t square minus 0. So when we are just writing it in single step, this is equal to ut plus half at square. So x minus x naught, you can represent it by x. So s is equal to ut plus half at square. So this is the equation, see, which we have taken in the starting. So this is taken as position time, distance time, or displacement time relation. So this is, we have solved it by calculus method. So what step you have to remember? Only this step. Velocity is equal to dx upon dt. One point, this is a key point you have to remember here. Second point, which is very important to remember here at this point, you have to substitute v is equal to u plus at. These 2 points you have to learn in this derivation. Now next is velocity displacement relation, velocity position relation, velocity distance relation, anything can be asked. What is the basic relation? What is the mathematical form? V square minus u square equal to 2as. As now, what is a key point for solving it, for getting the result by calculus method? As now here we have to use a is equal to dv by dt. So see, in these 3 derivations, in first and this third derivation, we have directly started from acceleration. In the second derivation, we have started from velocity is equal to dx upon dt. But here step will not be identical. Here just focus here that here the relation is between velocity and displacement. There is no concept of time. So we have to eliminate the concept of time from here. So what we will do here, we will divide and multiplying it with the same factor, that is dx. Now you can see here this dx upon dt. Yes, this is velocity. First derivative of position is velocity. So it is v into dv by dx. dt we have eliminated, so v into dv by dx. So now here we can write from this equation a dx equal to v dv. Now again, when we have to integrate to get the required result, what we have to take initially? Limits. So what will be the limits? Let initial velocity is u, final velocity is v, and initial position is x naught and corresponding final position is x. So now integrate equation 1 within the limits. Here integration is with respect to x, so limits will be x naught initial limit to final limit x. And here integration is with respect to velocity, so initial limit will be u and final limit will be v. So now after this, so now taking a outside integration, integrating limits are same. Now here v you have to integrate with respect to dv. So here it can be taken as integration of 1. Directly I am taking that 1 is x raised to the power 0. So its integration will be x, 0 plus 1, that is 1. So it will be x, and the limits, lower limit and upper limit on the opposite side. Now here integration of v is v square upon 2 within the limits u v. So it is x minus x naught. This will be v square minus u square by 2 when you are substituting the limits. So now 2 is multiplying on the left side. 2ax minus x naught equal to v square minus u square. So that's why v square minus u square is equal to 2a into s, where s is equal to x minus x naught. So basically when you have derived such kind of results, here also this point is important, as we know acceleration is dv by dt, but now because here relation is between velocity and position, so that's why here we have multiplying and divided by dx, so that to eliminate time from this equation. These are the steps. Now give it a writing practice so that you will get confident then in solving this by this method. In the exams also, if derivation has been asked, then you have to only attempt by calculus method, because in class 11th calculus method is in your syllabus. Now, so after the derivation of 3 equation of motion, next we are taking the distance travelled in nth second. So basically nth second, we have to understand the concept of nth second. Basically if we take, let the body is moving along a straight line from point A to B and C is a point that this distance A to B, this has to be covered within n seconds. And A to C, if the distance is covered in n minus 1 second. So this distance will be the distance travelled in last 1 second. N second minus n minus 1, it means distance travelled in last 1 second. That means distance travelled in nth second. So now here we will do few specifications. Let u is the initial speed of the body and a is the uniform acceleration of the body. Then Sn, this is distance travelled by a body in n second, total time n second. Like if we have taken distance travelled in 10 seconds, so total distance from starting to end point, that is up to 10 seconds. Sn minus 1, this is distance travelled in n minus 1 second. Now dnth, this is the distance travelled in nth second, only last 1 second. So now it means this dnth will be equal to Sn minus 1. So see here, if this distance is total distance covered in n second is Sn, and this distance AC covered in n minus 1 second is Sn minus 1. So this remaining distance C to B, this is dnth, distance travelled in last 1 second. Now on the basis of it, as now we have obtained the relation equation of motion s equal to ut plus half at square. So in this relation, one time we will use t equal to n, and one time you will use t equal to n minus 1. Substitute the value of t in that equation and substitute here, you will directly get the value of dnth second. Dnth, that is distance travelled in nth second. So distance travelled in n second is un plus half an square, and distance travelled in n minus 1 second is un minus 1 plus half n minus 1 square. Now put these values in equation, you can name it as 1. So dnth is un plus half an square minus un minus 1 minus half an minus 1 square. Just we have substituted the values. What you have to do in the next step, you have to simply solve it. Now this is all mathematical step. Minus u into n, then minus minus plus, that is u minus half a, expanded by formula a minus b square, this is n square, plus 1 minus 2n. So then here cancelling the common factor, here it is u plus, in these two half a is common, so take it common outside. Now here it is n square, then minus n square, minus plus minus 1, minus minus plus, this is 2n. So it is u plus a by 2, 2n minus 1. So distance travelled in nth second is given by u plus a by 2, 2n minus 1. This is also one important equation. Till now you are familiar with only 3 equations. Now this year in class 11th we have studied one new equation. This will be used in solving many of the numericals. Now we have to learn how to use these equation of motion to solve numericals. For solving numericals, we have to understand basic sign conventions. Sign conventions, as the term indicate, that is sign, that is positive or negative sign. For what? For velocity, for acceleration, for displacement. We cannot say it for speed or distance because these are scalar. For speed and distance, it is always taken to be positive. So now here we are learning one new concept. Although one basic concept of solving numerical on simple equation of motion we have done in class 9th, but there was no concept of sign convention there. They were simple numericals you were using there. Now see here. Here I will explain you 2 sign conventions. Any convention you can use. This is depending entirely upon you, which you will find to be comfortable. Now first is, if upward direction is taken to be positive. See, to understand it, first of all, let me take that we have 2 directions. Either a body can move upward or the body can move downward. Now, it is our choice as per the concept of origin that upward is positive and downward is negative. So basically upward direction is always taken as positive and downward direction is negative. So when we are taking upward direction is positive, we have to make it a standard result that upward direction is positive. So as per this, if upward direction is taken as positive, and our case is when a body is thrown vertically upward. Body is thrown vertically upward. So in that case the body is thrown vertically upward. Now these are parallel. So if we have to find the sign of displacement, velocity and acceleration due to gravity. So in that particular case, basically body is moving, covering a displacement, covering a distance in the upward direction. So displacement will be positive because it is parallel to the convention we have chosen, that is upward direction to be positive. body is thrown upward, direction of motion is in same direction, that is the direction which we have taken to be positive, so velocity will also be positive here. But acceleration due to gravity, this you have to understand. Acceleration due to gravity is always acting downward. When we have to understand the concept of free fall, when a body is falling freely, then basically we will convert this acceleration to acceleration due to gravity. When a body is thrown vertically upward or downward, then instead of acceleration we will always use the term acceleration due to gravity. So why this acceleration due to gravity is negative? See, as acceleration due to gravity always act in the downward direction, but it means its basic direction is downward. How can you understand? Let me see. You can take an example. Suppose if you have a ball, then you are dropping it. It is coming directly downward. Why? Due to effect of gravity. It is not going upward unless and until you are applying force on it to move upward. That means any body which you are throwing from any of the height, it will always fall downward due to the effect of gravity, and gravity is acting downward. If any quantity is acting downward, its direction in the upward direction, its sign in the upward direction, it will be minus g. In the upward direction, its direction is mentioned that now the value will be same, but direction will be changed, so it will be minus g. So that's why in the upward direction, acceleration due to gravity is negative. Basically, you have to understand this particular concept. If upward direction is taken to be positive and the body is thrown vertically upward, then what are the two factors which will be positive? Displacement, velocity. But acceleration due to gravity will be negative. I hope this point is clear. Main concept where the student get confused is in acceleration due to gravity. Actually, acceleration due to gravity always act vertically downward. Never it will act in upward direction. So standard direction of acceleration due to gravity is opposite to our convention. So that's why in upward direction, acceleration due to gravity will be negative. Now, if the body is thrown vertically downward, keeping upward direction to be positive, that is as a standard direction from which we are comparing our motion. Now, we have dropped the body downward. So, in that case, body is moving downward. So, as per this convention, now the direction of motion is opposite to the convention chosen. So, here displacement will be negative, velocity will be negative, and acceleration due to gravity will also be negative. So if downward direction of motion is there and our convention is upward direction positive, so all the factors will be negative. This point is slightly difficult to understand. Now let me take one more convention, that is if we consider downward direction to be positive direction, not negative, it is positive. So in that particular case, if the body is thrown vertically upward, see, as downward direction is our standard direction, and if the body is thrown vertically upward, as now in that case, this direction is supporting the direction of acceleration due to gravity. So in that case, acceleration due to gravity will be positive, but displacement and velocity will be negative. Why? Because here body is not going downward, it is here the body is thrown vertically upward. Remember, here one point you have to understand, our convention is downward, but direction of motion is opposite to it. So direction of motion is opposite, that means displacement and velocity will be negative, but acceleration due to gravity is as per the convention chosen, so acceleration due to gravity will be positive. So students find this convention to be quite easy to apply. Similarly, if the body is thrown vertically downward and our chosen convention direction is always also downward, so in that particular case, as according to the standard direction, our direction of motion is parallel, so displacement, velocity and acceleration due to gravity will all be positive. So basically what we are doing here, we are learning here how to apply these conventions to solve the numericals. So here now I am giving you one numerical so that you will get clarity how to apply the conventions. I will use only this downward conventions. You can apply any convention, upward or downward convention. It depends entirely upon you. And you have never to mention it again and again that we are applying downward direction convention or upward direction convention. When you are solving, then it is automatically understood whatever sign you are taking. Because when you are taking upward direction to be positive, so in that case G will always be negative. But when downward direction is taken to be positive, so in which direction the body is going, either upward or downward, acceleration due to gravity will be always positive. So let me take one numerical. So now let me understand the concept of sign convention on the basis of numerical. So let me take one NCERT exercise numerical. Numerical is quite simple. Just concentrate on the convention. A player throws a ball upward with an initial speed of 29.4 meter per second. Just imagine the situation in your mind. Then after that we will draw the figure. A player is throwing a ball upward with an initial speed of 29.4 meter per second. What is the direction of acceleration during upward motion of the ball? You have to find the direction of acceleration during upward motion of the ball. So if the ball is thrown vertically upward, what will be the direction of acceleration? Means acceleration due to gravity. What are the velocity, acceleration of the ball at the highest point of its motion? As when the body has been thrown vertically upward, as its speed goes on decreasing, and the body will start coming back only from the point where at the highest point its velocity becomes 0. So by using that concept you can find velocity at that point. Rather we will discuss these points. Next important point that has been given here, choose x equal to 0 and t equal to 0 be the location and time at its highest point, and vertically downward direction to be positive direction of x-axis. Basically from here you can conclude that whatever sign convention we have discussed within this numerical, they have mentioned that which convention we have to use, and it will give you better clarity of the concept. Now, and give the sign of position, velocity, acceleration of the ball during its upward and downward motion. Then to what height does the ball rise? It means when the ball was thrown with speed of 29.4 meter per second, up to what highest point it will go, and after how long does a ball return to the player's hands? It means the player who was throwing, when he will get it returned. So let's see, the statement seems to be quite lengthy, but the concept one by one you have to understand and solve. Now here we are taking, let this is a point here, a player throws a ball vertically upward with an initial speed of 29.4 meter per second. So when the body is thrown from point A to B, first of all we have taken all the statements together, as it has been given that the highest point x equal to 0 and t equal to 0 be taken as the origin, be the location at the highest point, and vertical downward direction will be positive as a convention. If it has not been given, then also we can choose this one. Now we will go as per the statement. See, when the body is throwing upward, but our convention chosen or given in the statement is positive in the downward direction. So what is the direction of acceleration during upward motion? As acceleration is due to gravity, it acts downward. Why? Because acceleration due to gravity always acts downward. So it will be positive in the downward direction. Now, what are the velocity and acceleration at the highest point? See, this is the highest point. At this point the body will go, see, initial speed is 29.4. when it is going upward, what is going on? As it is moving opposite to direction of gravity, so its velocity will go on decreasing, and hence at a point where its velocity becomes 0, after that it will start coming down again. again reaching to the ground. So at the highest point, its velocity will be 0. And what is acceleration due to gravity? Acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. Actual value of acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. As you can use 10 meter per second square also. But it depends upon the calculation part. If the value seems to be in fractions like 29.4 or 19.6, when it is appearing in the form of decimal point, then we will prefer to use this value, because here direct multiplication can be taken. But otherwise, if you have confusion, then you can directly take it for 10 meter per second square. In this statement, acceleration due to gravity is given to be 9.8 meter per second square. So we will go as per the question. So at the highest point, velocity is 0 and acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square. Now, in the third part, as it has been given that x equal to 0 and t equal to 0 be the location and time at the highest point, and vertical downward direction is taken to be positive. So give the sign of, see here downward direction is positive as per the convention, and body is thrown vertically upward and body is thrown vertically downward. For each of the case, you have to find the sign of position, means displacement obviously, velocity and acceleration. When the body is thrown vertically upward and convention is vertically downward to be positive, so displacement negative, velocity negative and acceleration due to gravity will be positive. This we have explained by taking downward convention to be positive. Now, when body is thrown downward parallel to the convention chosen, so all the three parameters, displacement, velocity and acceleration due to gravity will be positive. So now this way also you get more clarity about convention, sign conventions. Now in the last part, what has been asked, as the body has been thrown vertically upward direction, so up to what height, how high it will go, you have to find the distance. So it means initial speed is given, at the highest point final speed is 0. So you have to find the distance covered. So you can apply v square minus u square equal to 2gs. At the highest point velocity is 0. You have to choose. Now see the first calculation part on the basis of conventions. As we have been given downward convention to be positive and the body is thrown upward, so u will be, yes, it should be negative. See the convention, above convention as per this. Body is thrown upward, our convention positive, downward, so v is negative. So we have taken v negative. Similarly, now acceleration due to gravity will be, this will be only positive. See the convention, this is positive, 9.8 meter per second square. Now as per this convention, you have to calculate distance covered, 0 minus 29.4 square, 2 into 9.8 into s. So here s comes out to be, as square of negative will remain to be positive, divide by 2 into 9.8, and when you will do all the calculations, it will come out to be minus 44.1 meter. You can check it, negative sign will be there. Now negative sign indicate here the distance is covered in upward direction, body is moving upward, so it is opposite to convention chosen, so distance is displacement is rather negative. Now we have also to find the time within which, it means as the body is thrown upward, that means it will take some time going upward, and after that from the highest point it will not remain suspended in air, it will again come down. So you have to calculate total time taken to come back to the player's hand. So here basically when you are just solving it, you have to understand one thing, that here time of ascent is equal to time of descent, because we are ignoring the effect of air resistance. It has been given in the statement. So in that particular case, T1 will be equal to T2. We can take it as T. So now when the body is thrown with speed u and at the highest point velocity becomes 0, so apply v equal to u plus at. So v is 0, u is minus 29.4 plus a is positive 9.8 meter per second square into t. So it is 29.4 equal to 9.8 t. So t comes out to be, if you will divide it, then it will be 3 seconds. That means time taken by ball to go up to highest point. So total time taken will be t1 plus t2. It means going up within time t and go coming down within the same time, ignoring air resistance. Total time is t1 plus t2. It means 2t, that is 2 into 3 is 6 seconds. So that's all for today. So let me recapitulate what we have covered, as we have introduced the derivation of equation of motion using calculus method. Give it a writing practice, otherwise it will be difficult to remember the steps. Secondly, after that we have discussed distance traveled in nth second, that means last 1 second. Most important concept that is introduced today, that is the concept of sign conventions while using these equation of motion. So practice 1 or 2 extra numericals so that you get confident over the concepts of sign conventions. In the further next videos, I will take numericals on the sign conventions. So that's all for now. Thank you. Have a nice day.